Actually, one of the things that cause that bring this mental health is actually men who cannot perform well in bed. So I don't want to bring it up at because it's shameful. So if you bring it up, and I'll feel bad about myself, and you are contributing to my suicidal thoughts. So I need you to understand me. I need you to help me in that.
Ahlan sahlan wa marhaban mpenzi mtazamaji, assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Natumai mzima buheri wa afya. Jina langu ni Haifa Muhammad na karibu katika kipindi kipendacho Upeo wa Asubuhi ndani ya kitengo Afya na Ustawi. Mpenzi mtazamaji, leo ni furaha na bashasha kuweza wanawe tena ndani ya studio zetu za Mahdi TV, na kama ilivyo desturi yetu tunao wageni wetu wawili pia siku ya leo. Nadhani pia kuna siku tulikuwa nao wawili pia. Nadhani mmoja mtakuwa mnamfahamu kwa sababu mtakuwa mlimuona katika kipindi kingine, na leo pia tuko naye mgeni wetu mwingine hapo hapo, sio yule aliyokuwa naye lakini pia mtaweza kumfahamu. Na inshallah mpenzi mtazamaji, siku ya leo tutaweza kuangazia swala zima la umuhimu wa wanaume, yani ni kama kuangaliana. Ushaona, yani ile unataka kujua mwenzako anaendeleaje ama anaendelea vipi. Importance of men holding space for each other. Na inshallah tukielekea kwao tutaweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi. Habari zenu?
Salama sana.
Karibuni.
Asante.
Nadhani Dan tumekuwa na wewe. Tukianza na introduction vizuri, alafu tuende kabisa kwa mwenzetu mwingine tuweze kumfahamu.
My name is Mtunga Mangu. I am a mental health champion. I advocate for mental health. I believe apart from the physical health and the spiritual health, the mental health plays a very significant role, and it should not be downlooked. I'm also a med school. I'm also in med school our fourth year.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. My names are Moses Govinda. I'm a mental health advocate. Okay, mental health is complex, and talking about it brings a lot of hope to different type of people, and men specifically, because we have those norms, traditional norms and everything. So talking about this will help a lot of men to actually be able to be resilient on what to do with their mental health.
I see a lot of people want to talk about mental health because I can see your mental health advocates. Ukiangalia ndani pia ni mental health advocate. So it's a good field. Nikumaanisha kwamba ni kitu ambacho kinaathiri vijana wengi. Hasa katika jamii yetu ya sasa ambao tunakumbwa na masuala mengi. Taxes zinatukula akili. Financially relationship wise inakula watu akili. So ni kitu ambacho kishakuangazia. So tukiangalia tukienda katika point ya kwanza, what are the importance of men supporting one another emotionally?
I often think of this phrase that being a brother who can be there for someone else, having that space, it's like being a pillar. Someone can lean back when they're having their financial issues, when their girl breaks up with them, when they have been beaten up by robbers along the way, when the suffering and pains of life, when they affect them, when they're succumbing in this emotional entanglement, they can't even think straightly. Being there for that person, the confidence that the brother has that you will be there for them to listen. Actually, that is the important part, listening, to actually having the confidence that you will help them. So actually, that's very important. And back to your question now, what is the importance? One, according to statistics, 50% of male relationships which are open and people can communicate, 50%, they are 50% less likely to have suicidal yes, 50% less likely. And we do know that suicide is actually one of the long-term complications of in the depressed emotions. People not coming out, opening out, people trying to tag it out, and actually have that phrase, tag it out, just smile through the pain. Through that you're depressing these emotions. And the complications that it comes along with it, one is suicide, which is the major one, and they are very devastating. It is estimated that per minute someone is killing themselves per second. So 60 men per minute have killed themselves this second. And if you think about it, actually, it's a very saddening number.
True.
Yeah, and this could be 50%. Could reduce 50% if men could actually talk and create safe environment for their brothers. So I think one of the importance is reducing suicidal rates to improve decision making. When you are angered or when you try to express emotions that are not inside you. You try to express calmness and you're angry. You will act impulsively. You make decisions that are not right at the moment. They give you the phrase that when you're angry, actually sit it out for 24 hours before you talk, even when you're happy. So emotional regulation, they are creating the space where people can talk with you. They are regulating the emotions with that, helping them make wiser decisions because your emotions are in check. I try to think of emotional regulation having someone there for you. It's like a thermostat, keeping you at the right temperature at all time. Not what the impulsively. You are very angered, you want to fight. It could have detrimental effect. So that's one of the importance actually. Make better decisions, reduce suicidal, improve the well-being of life. Actually, mental health issues and illnesses actually contribute to some physical health impacts. When you're stressed, the body releases norepinephrine, stress hormones, cortisol. And cortisol is attributed to increasing the glucose level, glucose intolerance resistance, leading to diabetes. Actually, cortisol can lead to diabetes. Actually, it's a stress hormone. And we also have epinephrine increasing blood pressure. You hear the phrase that people with hypertension and diabetes should refrain from stressful events because it increases the cortisol, increases the epinephrine. So it impacts the brain side actually, physically. Mental health is not the physical. There's a difference between mental health and brain health. Brain health is the physical brain being affected. Mental health, it's a concept. It's the ability to how to regulate your emotion, your behavior, and your social well-being. So two, it helps create the importance of having these talks. It helps foster very strong relationship, very strong bonds. It's a very bonds built on healthy relationship.
Okay.
Which is very important.
Okay. And when you come to you, Moses, why do you think it's easier for men to open up to their fellow men rather than women?
Okay, thank you for that. We have something we call a love language. And when we talk about love language, we mostly talk about, girls and everything. But now, men also need physical presence of someone. Now, when we are in the society where we have traditional norms, masculinity and everything, so men feel like when they want to open up to another person who is not that close related to him, they feel that word will be used against them, and the stigma around everything. And when we talk about masculinity, they feel like, okay, the society have made us to be this way. So what should we do? How should we talk about our problems? Now, when I have someone who is actually have created a space, he can't judge me the way I am, the words I will be telling him, I feel it easy to open up to that person, like let's say Dan, he is that quiet boy who I can go to, okay, we say it's okay men to cry.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Okay.
It's okay for men to cry.
So when another question, because at the end of the day, we should ask ourselves, is it okay for me to cry?
Yeah, true. So when I have my friend Dan who is there for me, who can listen to what I'm telling him, things to do with mental health, you need someone who can listen to you. Even if there is no that solution, but he is there to listen to you. So if I have someone who can listen to me, who is Dan, I will go to Dan, open up to him, and by the end of the day, I will feel relieved because I know him. He can keep my secrets. So we don't need that person who, after opening up, they use that same words against you, So
what's currently happening here is, I think it's all about fear.
Yeah, true.
Fear and also fear of judgment.
Yeah.
And fear of people telling or spitting out your secrets.
Yeah, true.
Because they say women have the tendency of being
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, men fear that when I go and open up, let's say when I go and open up to Haifa, will this person be the right person for me to listen to me very clearly and understand me, maybe give me ideas? Because as they say, sometimes we don't usually need a person who can advise us, but a person who can listen
to us. Yeah.
Govinda is right. I think Govinda has a very strong point. The society at this point, it is made to shun weakness.
Yeah.
Any sign of weaknesses, I think women run away from that, and anyone runs away from weakness. They need a strong man who can. That is what they think they need. And most of them doing that are perpetuating the same environment of toxic masculinity.
True.
This is why abuse comes up. When you tell your man you need to be strong, I don't want to see. You don't want to see your man crying, right? That is what you don't want to see. But I want to see my brother crying. I want to see my brother coming to me telling me, bro, I am suffering this and this.
True.
Because everyone is suffering. And if your bro is not coming to you in terms of his suffering, then he's suffering secretly. And that is affecting him. So in women, men opening up to women, I think it's about women creating a very healthy relationship with their men. So that I can trust you enough. If I tell you this, you're not going to bring it back in the fight. No, couples do fight most of the time. So I don't want you bringing up the fact that I feel my work, I'm undermined in my work. I don't want to bring it up. We are affected sexually. Actually, one of the things that cause that bring this mental health is actually men who cannot perform well in bed. So I don't want to bring it up every time we argue because it's shameful. So if you bring it up and constantly bring it up, you're going to affect my self-awareness. And I will feel bad about myself. And you are contributing to my suicidal thoughts. And if I kill myself, then the family is broken. So I need you to understand me. I need you to help me in that. That is how
because sometimes maybe it might be a medical issue.
It's a medical issue. I can't even change that. I think being healthy yourself as a woman, you will allow men to be healthy around you, to be vulnerable. That's the word. Men need to be vulnerable around their couple, but then the women need to be very secure for me to trust you.
I think what I can say concerning women, let me add on that. Maybe I think women tend to get angry, and when they get angry, they tend to release everything. They can say even the past thing because the nature of a woman doesn't forget. So whenever it comes to a tendency whereby I'm here, like you've hurt me, this and that, because they see it in, maybe they don't see like it's hurting another person, So at the end of the day, they end up forgetting that I am talking to another person who also has emotions, even though he is a man. But at the end of the day, this man needs a person who can listen to them.
I think that's why people get married. I need a shoulder to cry on. I need a shoulder. It's not about the woman crying on my shoulder. I also need it's about you can't say that man and women are equal, then fail at the point of emotional support. I think you need to find yourself a healthy partner who will give a healthy space for people to communicate and to talk about their emotions.
Sure. And when it comes back to you, Moses, what do you think we can do, or the society now can do to remove that stereotype whereby men are strong, men can hold up things, men can suppress things, whereas men are really hurting? So what can the society do?
Okay, I think first we need to start this conversation. Throughout, we should be talking about, if a man have a problem, just come to me or to somebody else and spit out whatever is disturbing you. We say in mental health, you must, in order to, cope with physical, emotional, and everything, at the end of the day, you must be productive. So how can you be productive if there's something that is, hindering you from doing that? So I think we should change the conversation around mental health and everything and start this as a way, we're talking about mental health, but now specifically to men. Why should we talking about this? Because we want men also to feel that they are human beings. They have emotions, so they should be always in a point of relieving themselves, Then again, I think men, us, we should always be, we say we must be emotionally intelligent in a manner that when I hunger you, you don't be that person who is always aggressive to do the same to me, So when you hunger me, what should I do? Should I come to you and say, okay, bro, you did this to me and this is not good? When you have that space of telling your bro that, okay, you did this to me and don't feel it is okay. That alone release that stress inside you. Then again, I think ladies will understand us. As long as we say we are masculine, you know, we don't want to talk. But they should.
Something hidden inside when a man says, I'm okay.
Yeah. True. When I say I'm okay, you must ask yourself, why? Why am I saying I'm okay?
Yes,
for example, we are in a relationship. Then, okay, things do happen. Maybe a girl wanted some financial assistance, but I'm not that well off. Then I say, okay, I don't have that kind of money. Then you say, okay, you don't say to me, you will say to your friends that, hey, I have a boyfriend, but when I need assistance, he can't help me. And then the same statement goes back to you. Then you start to, you know, you don't want to talk about it. You start to keep quiet, you know, and then a girl asks you, what's happening? You say you're okay, but inside you're not okay. So we should be able to, girls should be able to understand that even us, as long as they say boys should be strong, there's some point we are weak. And it is okay to be weak at some point because everybody has weaknesses. So they should actually understand and say, okay, men should also cry. If they say they don't, it is okay, they don't. So I think those are the points that actually should bring up the goodness of men having that resilience of, you know, you can cope with stress and everything.
As they say, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
but
true.
Then don't let it dream you.
Yeah,
that's true. Because you can see most of the people nowadays are really struggling.
Yeah, it's true.
Emotionally, I think it's a high percentage. Yeah. So I think we'll take a break, then when we come back, we can continue the second session.
Oh, thank you.
True.
Thank you.
Kurudi kwako mpenzi mtazamaji, natumai katika awamu ya kwanza tukiwa na Dan and Moses umeweza kufahamu mawili matatu kuhusiana na yale walioyaangazia. Kunradhi, wameongea masuala mengi na haswa hii linakuhusu wewe pia mwanamke nyumbani. Je, unamsikiza ima ni ndugu yako ama wewe ambaye umeolewa unamsikiza mume wako? Huenda amekuja labda ako na tatizo. Wengi maybe they might be struggling, maybe labda ni financially. Wewe unaweka masikio yako kuwasikiza kwa sababu wengine hawataki suluhisho bali watu wa kuwasikiza. Mpenzi mtazamaji, acha tuchukue mapumziko, tutakaporudi tuendelee zaidi. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu tena katika awamu ya pili ya kipindi kipendacho Upewa Asubuhi ndani ya kitengo Afya na Ustawi. Mpenzi mtazamaji, kama ilivyo desturi yetu kunradhi, tunayo wageni wetu ambaye tunazidi kuwa nao ndani ya studio zetu za Mahli TV. Si wengine ni Dan na Moses ambao wanazidi kutueleza zaidi kuhusiana na afya ya akili, haswa upande wa wanaume. Tunafahamu ya kwamba in as much as kwamba tunawa empower a girl child basi, lakini tusiwasahau watoto wa kiume, kwani ni mengi wanapitia na wanahitaji mtu wa kuwasikiliza. Mpenzi mtazamaji, tukirudi kwao tutaweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi. Tukirudi kwako Dan and Moses. Karibuni tena.
Thank you.
Na tukiangalia swala lingine ni kwamba ni ishara zipi ambazo za afya ya akili mtu anaweza kufahamu kwamba mwanamume ana struggle? Unajua tu huyu kwamba nikimwangalia hivi naweza kujua, lakini kuna mtu ambaye haezi notice. So yani the signs of mental health struggles in men that may go unnoticed.
Okay. So mental health actually, it affects how you socialize, how you behave, and how you make your decisions. For people to notice the physical manifestation, they love to have known you for some extended time. So maybe you can notice it by the facial expression that they're having. But some of the ways you can notice is one, it's uncharacteristically changing some habits that you are doing before. Ni msee ulikuwa umezoea, msee alikuwa anapenda kucheka vitu za bure tu, anakuwa so fun loving, going out there, and then uncharacteristically msee amenona, are you going to the mood ya kucheka? Ako always thinking outside, overthinking, na mpaka tu amefikiria sana. That is one of the ways. Number two ni msee mwenye anapenda self infliction. Na hiyo nasemaga, nimesahau jina kwa hiyo itaga, unapata mtu anajitafutia jinsi ya kujiumiza yeye mwenyewe. Unapata amejichora na kalamu, amejiumiza, anajikata. Ni one of the signs. Kuna zingine subtle signs, mtu anajiongelesha, unapata mtu anajiongelesha kwa njia. That I think it's a way. Unajua, let no emphasize on talking to someone else. It is a healthy way of channeling out the inner energy, which is the inner emotions, talking to someone. But there are other ways of doing the same, channeling the inner energy out. Talking to yourself, playing some games, a way of coping and understanding you have an emotion, which you need to address it. That is the only thing. It's not necessarily talking about it. You can also do other ways to cope with it. I talked about journaling. I talked about doing some nature work, meditations, yoga, and a psychoanalysis, interception. That's other ways. Other ways you can notice that msea may change. The overindulgence in alcohol and substance abuse. Youths squeeze unapata msee never drunk. Alikuwa kwa mswa kunywa pombe, akuwa anatumia mihadarati, akuwa anatumia bangi, I did not do this leisure easy nini, ndio. Then all of a sudden the guy anapata ako so indulged in this, and after some escape mechanism from the reality. So inamaanisha there's something in the reality, in the real self, internally, emotionally, in amount, so that's how they escape. That's the example why most people who are suffering financially, paradoxically, they're suffering financially, but then wakona pesa alcohol. Family. I have a brother kwanza mwenye, utampata ako into alcohol, and then ukigo deep down, it's because kuna kitu na mafeko marriage yake. I came to learn that, and I had to talk to bro, bro, you are doing this because of this. Solve this and to stop needing the drug. The addiction actually. There are studies that have been addiction. Addiction inakuanga ni msea makosa the social bonding with other people, and after bonding with the drugs to give him the pleasure in kupata kwa his. So when you fix this social problem, either it's because financial, some stresses in life, traumatic events, when they are fixed, at a cost of that addiction to the drugs. Yeah, that is another sign. Those are some of the signs you can notice in someone.
Okay.
So I cannot at least two of some of the signs that sometimes go unnoticed by them, because when you talk about low sex drive, people tend to say that, okay, when him say 2 minutes ama 1 second, but they don't know maybe you are suffering mentally, because mental health drives everything that runs in your body. So when you are suffering mentally, then obviously things will go differently. Yeah.
That you can't have sex when you're emotional.
Yeah.
When you're frustrated emotionally, it is very hard to get an erection somehow.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So another one is physical symptoms. You might be having a headache and think that, okay, this is a normal headache, or you think that you are overstressed or everything, but maybe you are suffering because something, depression, tunasema ni that continuous accumulation of stress. Then, so when it is accumulated, then you think, okay, I feel like my body is, you feel like you are aggressive, you feel like you are, so somebody might think that, okay, maybe that's the way he is, and labda kuna kitu ingine yenye inaku affect mentally.
I think pia upande wa I think that maybe inakuwa unnoticed, but I think it's a sign of mental health. Ni ile kama umeona mtu amevaa nguo, yani vile anataka, lakini wewe unasema labda ni mtu mchafu, lakini you don't know what
the point ya aggression and characteristic aggression, same when you all of a sudden so angered, triggered easily. They're going through problem, kuna kitu iko ndani. No, characteristically, Govinda was fine. Nimemjua alikuwa tu sawa. We used to joke. The jokes, the general jokes, we joke about a girlfriend. Those jokes now they are triggering him. All of a sudden, anakuwa angered easily. Uncharacteristic, not the characteristic. Some people have anger issues, but then these are uncharacteristic. You can notice these signs, and also that's what you have just said.
Dress code. With the dressing of a person can tell. Healthy. So wanakuambia unaweza maskini ukaona mtu amevaa nguo ambayo haieleweki, mara shati ni chafu, lakini maybe he's really going through a lot. That tells us more. And tukiangalia kitu kingine kwamba what are the challenges that men do face in terms of mental health?
challenges that men face in mental health. Actually, it's men are more prone to mental health challenges more than women. I'm not saying that they are more prone, actually, statistically speaking, because one of the let's start with the societal cultural norms, which the man is so much social expectations to come up with. You have to act in a certain way, dress in a certain way, be something certain way. Have a certain amount of money. Look at the unrealistic expectations that are brought up by the ladies in our generation. At 20. They're expecting you to compete with the baba and everybody. that alone can.
So at 20, they expect you maybe to have a inaitwaje ukwe na nyumba.
Yeah, ukwe na gari.
It is unrealistic. And actually, the other point that is actually men. They are told that you're not going to get love if you're not going to have money. They are denied love if they lack the financial. They should love. And that is actually silent. This contribute to this also adds to the mental health challenges and issues that they are facing. That is one of them. The societal expectation. You need by the age of 24 to have your career started. By the age of 26, 30 to have your investment running. Other men your age now they are rocking with big cars.
True.
I think this happens also in schools, like in secondary schools, whereas wanakwambia like, okay, mimi ni mwanafunzi, wewe ni mwanaume, ni mwanamke. Wanakwambia mwanamume usipofanya bidii hiyo hauna wa kukusaidia.
Exactly.
Mwanamke unaambiwa wewe fanya bidii, hata ukinini unajua wewe utaolewa. So they have that thing ya kwamba okay, man is a provider.
That is the societal
view.
That should be what does that bring? What does that stem? It sends anxiety. It brings fear. Fear of failure, which is lead to anxiety. Anxiety, it's a mental health issues, and it can also prolong to other mental health illnesses.
Sure.
Actually, what does it also brings stress? You're stressed that if I fail this exam, there's no one is going to save me. No, they think no one is coming to your rescue. And then I'm going to tell you that if you're a believer, there's God. Actually, He has a plan for you. And then the other thing that affects men, actually, what you said, men
challenges men.
We have the capitalistic nature of our country right now. The finances, the inflation. Actually, I saw it had reduced, but I'd seen that reduced from 3.6 to 2.7. But still, the prices are going up. Every day we are fighting the same regime, the same politician. It's a dinner for a few people actually up there, and it is enough to drive one crazy. But then I usually tell my men, think back, relax, and the government will never save you. You will have to save yourself. You never save. If you expect the government to save you, then you'll be depressed when things are not going well. But you don't run the government, you don't control it. There are a very small proportion of it which they allow you to know. No, they allow you to know a very small. You don't know the whole part. So don't be stressed by this. You can control.
Because another thing that they said, or I was passing through, I was really browsing through social media, and they were saying that the thing that kills this generation, it's all about how their mentality is. In a way that they all crave for employment. They want to be employed here and there. But at the end of the day, they don't want to start their own businesses. Because when you come to think of it, our forefathers and maybe our grandparents, our parents, they all started their own businesses. Till now that we've reached this stage, is like they taught us through their businesses. But at the end of the day, I think the mentality that we have been given, that mimi nikimaliza shule, I need to get employed. Sitaki kuji-employ. So na skills, not everyone will employ you. So at the end of the day, pia they get depressed. Ile kwamba mimi sasa nisipata kazi, alafu kuna mmoja anakuambia mimi I want to get married, nataka kuoa na sina kazi. And at the end of the day, kufika kwa familia wanakuambia, what do you bring to the table?
See how it brings, it stems insecurity. People start thinking low of themselves. This thing goes down actually.
Sure.
Another way that mental health actually challenges that are facing men, I think, is lack of awareness. Men are not sure. And at DFHRC, we are committed to raising awareness within Majengo and Kamkunji constituency on matters mental health. We host online webinars. We host workshops. We host people around the community for CBE, for the Friday thing. That's true. We call people around to talk to them about how was your week, how are you coping up, what is your problem, how can we help you? That's one of the ways. The challenge is they're not aware of how mental health is affecting them. They have lived their life acting impassively to their emotions.
Sure.
They have lived their way msema kuchokoza, and immediately pass the guy. Immediately msema kufanya hivi, immediately acting passive. That's how they've been brought up. That's how the society has shown them. But then they lack the awareness of knowing that, bro, you can actually internalize on this.
Yes.
This person amekuchapa, I'm saying it is something inside you in an affect. There are people are just confessing themselves through their action and their words. So if you take that and let it affect you emotionally, it will be detrimental to you.
Because self-esteem is very important.
Yeah, true.
It's like tripping on a rock and then you're looking back at the rock, trying to question the rock. No, bro, you need to know that you have emotions. You need to look at them. You need to understand them and manage them, not let them manage you. Yeah. So that is, and also societal pressures. Men actually have, they are pressured a lot, whether it be their friendships, whether it be their relationship, whether it be their anyway, their families, the society at large, it pressurizes men. Whenever there's a man, you need to be held, you are held accountable for most things happening within the society, the family, the relationship. You're held accountable. If a family fails, they actually blame the man. And most of these things, what they do, they bring insecurities, they bring fear, they bring anxiety, they bring depression. So you are pressurized, for example, in your family, you should be the breadwinner. So let's say, for example, it's a single family with that you are the firstborn. No, the firstborn actually they suffer so much from this emotional. They suffer from this pressure more than anyone
because
else.
The firstborn is portrayed as a strong person in the house, giving that title like, okay, huyu mimi nikiondoka ndo baba wa familia.
Exactly.
Without knowing that the first one is really suffering also because mentally and
maybe
utakuta haangaliwi sana. It's like when a person or when two couples give birth to their firstborn, they tend to teach all the lessons to her. Like, this is how you should be. Hii ndio unafaa kufanya hivi, ndio unafaa usifanye hivi, hii ni mbaya. So inakuwa like it's a pressure on them. So hata wakikua it's like wao wanakuwa mama wa pili wa wale siblings wengine. Exactly.
So that what does this bring? It actually brings a stereotype that you should be strong so that you can show your siblings that you're strong. And actually you are not strong. Actually you're suffering. You are a kid also. You're a sibling and you're supposed to be taken care. But then you're given a position, you're not be taken care. You should be taken care. That affects you emotionally. And that's another challenge that men face, actually, firstborns. Yeah, alongside that other combination, which you cannot finish today.
Thank you so much. And coming back to you, Moses.
Yeah.
How can families and friends support men who are really struggling with mental health?
Okay, we are talking about safe space. And this safe space is not a room.
True.
They are your friends. They are your family. They are those who, or even strangers, can be a safe space to you. So when we are talking about how can they be that safe space that you want, that a man wants in his life, we are talking about listening to them. How conversant are they in listening to your problems? They should, your friend should be the ones to ask you. If they see any change in you, they should ask you, hey, Dan, uko sawa kweli? Uko sawa? Then your family should also know you. Okay, I can give you my story, but I think it is a large one. Okay. It's a story for another day. Talking about firstborns, and I have that large story about it. So, I will talk about it on the other day. So, your family should know you. If you are that person who doesn't talk much, they should know you are. Like, you should talk to the limit. Then there are those who talk. They express themselves. They know how to do it clearly. So we should know each other as a family. You should listen to that person. If amesema leo sitaki kuongea, mpe space, ataongea. Then I think peer friends or family should be, the ones to drive you on whatever you want to do. For example, when you're a firstborn, that concept of firstborn, you're a firstborn, and then you as a child, still growing up, you must have friends. You're playing here and there. Then your dad or your mom is telling you that, no, you should be out. You should be reading at this time. Okay, I should be reading. I've done my homework. I've done everything. I've bathed, and everything. And I've gone out for just 30 minutes to be with my friends. With my friends, So when you are coming up, you say, okay, I should not have friends. because that's how I'm brought up.
Other people end up being self.
Yeah, that isolation, you even if you can't maintain that relationship with friends, and that's bad because friends are everywhere. You can't live alone in this world. So I think friends, family should, when bringing up their children, they should even give them space to actually socialize with their friends, have new ideas, and everything. So I think that's
as we finish, time inaenda. So what advice can you advise your fellow men in order to maintain their well-being of their mental health? Mnaweza wapa advice gani? Mwanasihi, muambie wanaume ni hivi na hivi, lakini reality inafaa kuwa hivi.
I think there are these 4 words which are very powerful. It's bro, are you okay? Like Kiswahili uko sawa bro. That's simple, that term, that is so powerful and can open many doors. That's number 1. Number 2, you be the safe space, bro. Be the safe space you want other people to have, be healthy. Other people will be healthy around you. They will see you as unhealthy, people are trying to help people. Actually, if you're traumatic, you want to be like, bro, I'm suffering from this. Listen to them. Don't judge, don't condemn. Listen, actually, and also just listen. So that is what people want, to be listened to. People want to talk about their problem.
We listen, but we don't judge.
Yeah.
No matter how bizarre and absurd, people do absurd and crazy things.
True.
That is number 1, listening to their problem. And and actually find a way, find a hobby, find something to channel your emotion, regulate your emotion, not to outreact to them, and understand that you are there.
Yeah. And coming to you, Moses,
okay.
What can you advise?
My last advice is that we hear you. We see you are suffering. And now, when you are suffering, how can you delimit that suffering? By speaking out. Speak out to that person you feel is a safe place. Speak out to that, even if you go to a nature, just speak out. Just meditate if that's the way. Then be self-aware. Because people suffer because they don't know. If you know, you can't suffer. So let's open up as men and we will be mentally resilient. Thank
you so much, Moses. Thank you so much, Dan. It has been an honor having you guys here and talking about men, real men. Yeah. And you can finish by saying we listen, but
you don't judge.
Thank you. Kurudi kwako mtazamaji, natumai katika awamu ya pili tukiwa na Dan na Moses, nadhani mmeweza pia kuwasikia na umeweza pia kuwaelewa. Wameongea mengi na natumai mpenzi mtazamaji utatilia maanani, kwani afya yako ya akili ni muhimu, hasa wewe mwanamume. Usijiweke kando ukasema mimi kwamba sionekani. Usijiweke kando kujiweka ukajiona ya kwamba mimi sifai katika jamii, bali jua kwamba bila wewe nchi bwana haitaendelea vizuri. Mpenzi mtazamaji, kufikia hapa sina mengi ya kusema isipokuwa ni kukwambia mazoea.